back into Path of Exile 2. We are still pushing through. Please ignore the occurring background. I was helping a friend out with some bosses earlier, and here we go. Back to Act 2. We should be here. City of Keth. We are looking for the Sacred Waters. Oh, and a statue drop so that I can go to that event. We kind of somewhat changed our build around. We've gotten us into a better place. We stuck our ascendancy a little bit, so that would work out a little bit better. Right now, we're great on cold resistance, not very good on anything else. I will need to find two resistances.
Get after it! Up for another hunt, are ya? Don't let up! Just get a move on or else.
Oh, fuck.
There it goes.
I got distracted and lost my whiz. And a lot of my energy. Son of a bitch. I can move that. Let's see if that helps at all. If my mic is turned up. Okay. Mic should be louder than the game. I even have the game volume like as low as possible on. We're not running the full curse setup like we were trying to do anymore. We kind of switched to the overall Essence Drain setup. So we're running Essence Drain, Contagion, Dark Effigy at the moment. With Withering Presence, so that we just deal extra chaos damage. I've taken a look at some other builds that could potentially maybe pivot into a little bit. Still looking at the impending doom, so the curse decay. It would be a lot easier if you could stack curse decay, but of course you can only use one support gem per setup, so I could put it on one thing and then use other curses, but it wouldn't affect those curses, so it's kind of not worth. I honestly think that like trying to run the curse decay is probably just not in a good place in the state of the game right now, like, they really need to change how skeletons work, I think, for some of the builds and some of the stuff they have to really, like, be viable and, like, work in a good way. What's our shield? Is that plus 26? Does that count as a projectile? It does, so it could get another level. Somebody's watching me. I think it's Dazashi. Oh. Nothing in here? Nothing in here. Seems kind of pointless. Seems like it's kind of a waste of development resources just to make empty rooms. Boom. God, what in the fuck? Alright. That makes sense. These things just ate through like 2,000 energy shield like immediately. All orbs are good to have. You fucking die? Like, how many times do I have to put this shit on? Nope. Do not want to get hit with extra lightning damage. The venom pit. Fight this boss again. I drop nothing. Kind of pointless. None of these damn snake things have dropped the other idol either. That's kind of a pain in the ass. 122 energy shield, but it only gives me plus 33 to maximum energy shield. This is greatly boosting that even more.
Give up all hope.
What are we doing here? We are running, this is Act 6 of, or no, sorry, Act 5 of the current early access for Path of Exile 2. So this is Act 2 again, basically, but like at a harder difficulty. So when you run through the first 3 acts, you then have to go back in time and run the acts again on the cruel difficulty, so like a harder level difficulty. Before you can get to the end game. So I am just pushing through, trying to get to what's called mapping, or the end game of Path of Exile. This character is the new Ascendancy class, so it was just added in the most recent patch. It is called the Lich. And I can kind of I'll give you a breakdown of kind of what we're doing real quick. So we don't ever use Chaos Bolt. Like, I never touch Chaos Bolt. This ability just, it's not anywhere on my bars. I've never done anything with it. It's fucking pointless. I forget it's there. But we have, like, it'll automatically be an ability we have because of the way weapons work. So we're granted the level 11 Chaos Bolt from our wand. So it's just there just to have it. Contagion, however, is one of our main abilities. But never necromancy for thee, but never me. This ability, basically, it applies a debuff that deals chaos damage over time. And if any enemies die while they still have contagion, it will spread to any other enemies who don't, which causes it to do more damage. So basically, our main combo, we switch these around, is we throw out contagion, and then contagion starts taking away. Actually, the way I like to do it is I like to throw out Despair. So Despair is a debuff, and it has Decaying Hex on it, so 100% of our intelligence as damage over time while they have this debuff on them. So it lowers their chaos resistance, so they're taking chaos damage from it as well. Then I throw out Contagion, then I throw out Essence Drain, and then I try to throw out the Dark Effigy. So what happens is they get all these debuffs stacked up, and then the Dark Effigy just fucking pelts them with chaos damage as well. And so it's just a pure, like, chaos damage build. And, like, the damage here I don't think is reflective of the damage that's actually being done, because it's, like, damage over time and just pretty much, like, just building up. And then with the new ascendancy, so like this, you probably could have pulled this off moderately okay before they added the most recent ascendancy, but it was very hard to like mitigate damage that you were getting because the one ascendancy that you had available did damage to you as you used your abilities and was basically like crit stacking, so you had to have like a lot of crit built up, and it just didn't seem like it was worth it. So what we've done is we've taken the Lich ascendancy, and with this, what we get now is we get 3% increased maximum life from these two nodes. Then this node, so this blue line along my health right here, that's energy shield. And so 10% of my damage taken is going to bypass my energy shield. So 10% of that damage should go straight to me. However, with this, as long as I have energy shield, my life cannot change. So I can't gain life and I can't lose life. So if I have this and I have energy shield built up, I don't take that 10% damage. So automatically 10% damage is getting negated. And then whatever is left hits my energy shield. But doesn't, like, until I run out of energy shield, I don't lose life. So as long as I can keep my energy shield going, I can never lose life. And then I just regenerate mana at a 6% base of life. So 6% of 963 is how fast my mana regenerates. And we'll build up more life as we go. Like, I have to change some shit around because, like, the boss of this act is lightning based, I'm pretty sure. And I have negative 20 lightning resistance right now. So if I get hit with anything from that boss, it'll just eat my energy shield away. So it's not going to be a fun fight to try and do with no resistances. So I had to sit down and kind of like get my resistances worked out so that I can have better survivability. Right now we're just trying to get... One, I'm looking for an item that's supposed to drop in this area that we use at a shrine in another area. And then the other thing I'm doing is just pushing through because we actually have to like go through another set of maps here to get an item to actually get to the boss. So, Regal Orbs. I don't know how familiar you are with like Path of Exile or any of this. It's fun. I would say if you haven't jumped into Path of Exile, it can be overwhelming. I initially did not enjoy Path of Exile the first time I tried to play it, but I was also kind of stubborn and trying to play in a way that just wasn't how the game plays. And it took me a while to learn kind of like what builds and how things kind of work out in Path of Exile, and I've had fun playing around with it since then. Path of Exile 2 is a little bit more accessible, but it still kind of has some of that like build difficulty curve to it. I mean, just looking at the passive tree and how the passive tree like scales out, like branches out, is pretty overwhelming. Like, this is the passive tree for this. And there's different start points for different characters. Like, they all start at different places here, but not even a little. I never finished Diablo because I just, I mean, Diablo's fun. Diablo 4 was fun through the campaign. I don't know that I would tell anybody to stick with it as the end game, but if you're into AR service and shit, no worries, no worries. If you ever get a chance to like look at the tree, oh, there's the item we're looking for, the relic that we dropped. Now we can go on to the next map. The tree, you think Final Fantasy X's, if you ever played Final Fantasy X, think Final Fantasy X's like skill tree, and then like magnify that, I'd say probably about maybe 10, 15 times, and that's kind of what you're looking at for Path of Exile. How's your day been? How's work been? Alright. so that is not the way we want to go. That's bad. And just a heads up, anybody chilling, I will not be here Wednesday night. We will not have a stream Wednesday night. I will be in Houston for a concert. Dude, that sucks. I hate that waiting. Like, we've spent probably 3 years, I would say. Probably the past 3 years at the start of every year with that tension of like waiting to see like what's gonna happen and are we gonna get, you know, rift or not. I feel for you, man. Like, that shit sucks. I'm willing to bet it doesn't come on Friday. I bet they'll keep you. They need their IT people. Typically, IT is not something that gets riffed as easily as like sales and other departments.
It moves. Ready to hunt. Sharp. That beast is
All right. Well, we lost one wisp, but we got a wisp back, so that's nice.
chance to recover.
Necessarily want to do it on this enemy though.
You're wearing it down. Don't let up.
Oh shit. Where is this damn thing?
Don't lose focus.
I'm gonna need you to die like now. Nope.
Nowhere to run.
Oh, come on.
Down. Don't let up.
This is like the worst possible time. There we go. Thank God. And I got nothing from it. That's dumb. My day was alright. Work was work. Haven't had a whole lot of tickets come in, so there's not a ton that I've had to do other than like go through HR stuff and get other stuff ready. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward on my end. Had Chipotle. That was nice. I'm gonna regret it later though.
The once verdant city is still mostly intact, but overwhelmed with sand. Pretty.
Oh, we have like a rogue exile. Is that what that is? Yep. Oh shit. I've got a boss-like character that's trying to. Yo, how about we not regain HP? No, we're not doing that.
Big fast.
I swear to God, you better drop something or while.
Unlucky hits, that's all I need.
Especially since you just regained all of the fucking health that I just drained off of you.
Think fast.
No! This guy keeps regaining health and I'm gonna die and I'm gonna be mad. This is so dumb. He keeps it like, no, we're not doing that. Nope.
Brace yourself.
And he didn't drop shit. Really? That's so fucking annoying. I don't know, I'm not part of the faith like everyone else, and I think they would rather dump me for someone in India now that they know that they can. This isn't me putting anyone down in India either. It just sucks that someone with 4 times the experience and training will be hired for 1/3 of my salary simply because the business can. Yeah, that'll happen. It fucking sucks. Okay, so if I take that off, and I put that on, that gives us, oh, it takes us down to 3% lightning resistance. Hell yeah. Ooh, there we go. 7% lightning resistance. We're moving on up. Yeah, I mean, it's a rough situation. I've been there. I mean, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid and fought with the idiot they wanted to put over support at another job that I had previously. So back in the day, I worked for a company called PlanSwift. PlanSwift was a construction software. It was like an estimating software, so people could go in and do their estimates and print out their sheets and, you know, run all their costs and stuff like that for construction. So I worked at PlanSwift. I'd been there for about 5 years. In that time, PlanSwift had been bought and sold like fucking like 4 times. We went from Solo to being bought by a company called Tektura. Tektura then sold us to Oracle. Oracle then sold us back to the original owner of PlanSwift, who then sold us to a company called ConstructConnect. In that time, they did all sorts of reorgs, like just unnecessary reorganizations every time we got sold. So everybody got moved around a bunch. Departments got consolidated. Things just it was just a fucking mess all the time. Well, when they sold to ConstructConnect, they wanted to put the head of marketing at the time. No, sorry, not the head of marketing. The head of customer service at the time, who ran one team. So this guy ran a team basically where his team would just call and be like, hello? Yeah, we noticed that you're new to PlanSwift. Could you guys, like, do you guys need any help with PlanSwift? Do you have any problems? So basically, they would actively seek out, like, tech support tickets for us. And it was the dumbest fucking thing. And so these people, so this team would, like, that's all they did, is they would just fucking cold call customers. Ooh, another fucking Rogue Exile. They would cold call customers and basically, like, create work for the support team to do. And we already had, like, enough work to do. We were already overworked from the sales team, who were a bunch of fucking idiots who would just promise everything to the customer and then, you know, not go through with it. So, like, we were closing 200-300 tickets a day. Like, literally, my team would literally close, you know, like 50, 60 tickets at a time. And that's what it was. And they wanted to put this guy was a accountant, basically, who wanted power, and so they wanted to put him in charge of support. And I was like, are you fucking stupid? I was like, he can't run the team he has, and you want to put him in charge of support too. So, me opening my mouth, I got put in charge of support. And they put him over me. So basically, he was still in charge of support, which was absolutely just fucking idiotic. And we butted heads quite a bit. Like, we went round and round and round. Somebody else from within the company basically, like, leaked some chats to him where I said that I was smarter than him. And he was very, very upset about that and tried to write me up for it. And I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. Well, here comes my 5-year anniversary. Been there 5 years. They give me this little catalog. They're like, hey, go ahead and pick something out of this from the company catalog. And, you know, congratulations on 5 years, blah, blah, blah. Not even literally like the next day, I go in and I'm sitting at my desk and they're like, hey, we need you to come to this meeting, you know, leave your phone at your desk and you know, come join us back here for this meeting. So I go back there not really thinking about it, only to find out that they were letting me go. They were reorganizing and found that my position was redundant and they didn't need me anymore. They didn't need a support manager. So now I'm in panic mode because I was mine and my partner's only income at the time. And so I was kind of in panic mode and not thinking about it. And they hand me these papers and say, hey, you need to read these and sign these. So they didn't even give me time to like get legal counsel to look over the paperwork, or for me to be like, no, this is not legal. Like the way they did it was very, very sus and probably still like barely legal the way they did it. Like it's straight up borderline legality. So I got like a $15,000 severance, which, okay, you know, severance is severance. I needed it. It kept us afloat for a while. They let us go to Japan and stuff, which was really cool, but stressful at the same time because like I lost my job. Well, I find out a couple weeks later that it wasn't that they didn't have need for my position anymore. It's that the guy who ran sales, who had been promoted to president, the guy who ran sales, this sack of fucking scum, motherfucking Creed listening sack of shit, fucking wanted to give his church buddy, his golf buddy from the LDS church that he was at, wanted to give him a manager title. So they fired me and then hired this guy to lead the team. And after that, I kind of just ended up like doing like service desk jobs for a while. I worked at a company called True Golf. If you want to hear stories about True Golf, I'm more than happy to tell you the story about True Golf and why I stopped working there. Then I went to a company called Impartner very briefly because I hated commuting to fucking Draper. It was the goddamn worst. And then I worked for a nonprofit called Education at Work. And that company was okay, but I was not happy there. So while I was at Education at Work, I was doing interviews and stuff for other companies. And that's how I ended up at Parsec. That's how I found Parsec, is I was actively looking for another job while at Education at Work, because it was not where I wanted to be. You know, Parsec has been great. Unity, like, I loved working for Benji, who was one of the leads of Parsec, and I love working like with Chris and Jim, who was my manager at the time. All really great people, amazing people. And that's kind of like what sold me on the company, is working with like Benji and stuff. But Unity has been rough. Unity has been like, there's good and bad to Unity, and like it's just been rough. That's like, communication has not always been the greatest. It feels like a lot of time Parsec and the other product that I manage are kind of like afterthoughts, even more so lately. So it's definitely been like tense times, and very like morale killing. So I get the stress. I absolutely understand where you're coming from on that. I also ramble a lot, so you can interject at any time. Yo, dog, not cool. Driving to Lehigh from Layton at 3 a.m. for my 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. help desk shift at Oracle with fucking buttholes. Yeah, dude. Fucking Oracle sucked ass. I think Oracle was probably like the worst era of working at PlanSwift when Oracle bought us, but I fucking milked it and got a bunch of like, I got like a $1,500 backpack out of it, so. I'm pretty sure like at this point in time, so many years have passed and I don't think they can fucking do anything about it, but I wasn't allowed to go get my stuff. Like I wasn't allowed to go pack my desk. Like they immediately like escorted me out of the building. So I wasn't allowed to like go get my backpack, my phone, any of that. I had to have my brother like brought me out my phone, and then brought everything from my cubicle, so brought everything from my desk to my house after he got off work because they wouldn't let me take any of it. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was the most, like, ridiculous, like, I was pissed. Especially because the one thing I always wanted to do when I finally quit Planet Switch was run through the fucking office screaming, I'm free, I'm free. And they took that from me. But as a revenge, so I had to have other people pack up my desk and then have someone bring it to me. So my brother brought me all the stuff that I had at my desk, all my little like trinkets and pictures and posters and stuff, and an Xbox, the company Xbox that had somehow wound up under my desk. The company Xbox that somehow wound up at my desk, I ended up with. So it was packed in a box and brought home to me. I then took that Xbox and sold it to GameStop immediately, and used it as a down payment for my, I think it was my Switch at the time, one of my Switches. It was either the Switch or, no, it was my Spider-Man PS4. My PS4 Pro is what I used it for. And apparently they like ended up looking for that Xbox for like quite some time. But we had, so then from there, like looking for jobs, like I think the worst part about like being employed like right before COVID was that Halo 3, hell yeah, dude. That's the way to do it. We ended up like, I ended up with like a lot of stuff from closing stores and shit like that. When I first moved back, so when I first got out of the Air Force, had just moved back to Utah. I was staying with my mom and my brother at their apartment, and just outside of the apartment complex there was a Smith's, and in that, so it was in West Valley off of 47, and just outside of our apartment complex was a Smith's that had a Hollywood Video in the parking lot. And one night, I looked at my brother and I was like, we're going to steal that one of these days. I was like, we're just going to come out here and just rip it off the wall and take it home. And I was joking, but it was a Halo banner. It was a Halo 3 banner that was hanging on the side of what was, I think, was Game Crazy or Game Tag at the time for Hollywood Video. Well, it's around like 1, maybe 2 in the morning, and my brother takes the garbage out. Which is like, okay, why are you taking the garbage out this late? Kohlrabi and I were sitting watching TV, and we're like, he's been gone a long time. Like, where the fuck did he go? So we went to go find him. Turns out he had gone, like, as we're looking around, his head pops up over this brick wall, and he's like, hey, I need your help. Come on, let's go. So we jump the wall and we follow him. He had gotten 2 of the 4 screws out of the wall for this banner, and one of them was like frozen because it had been snowing and he couldn't get it out. So that's what was taking him so long, as he was trying to get it out. So we ended up with a Halo 3 banner that we stole off the side of a fucking Hollywood Video back in like 2000, I think it was like 2009. Yeah, if Kohlrabi ever streams again, if you jump into one of Kohlrabi's streams again, you should ask him about it. That shit was wild, and they kept it. Like, they kept that banner for a long time. I don't know how familiar you are with the various Utah call centers, because I've worked at almost all of them. I do know the group. I am not I do not have awesome things to say about that group. I think a lot of that group is very toxic, and that's just from my experiences. They were pretty toxic when I had been around them. So, like, I don't want to offend anybody or say anything bad or anything like that. But my experience with them was rather toxic. My brother dated Noelle shortly after. Well, I don't know if it was shortly after, but he did date Noelle after she was married to Shane. And there's some things that happened during that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and so I don't really I didn't really associate with that group too much, and yeah, like I know them. I know the crew, but they're not really like people I would choose to hang out with, I guess.
Long forgotten shrines, show me your secrets.
If you know that group, you probably know my brother, though, so. A few of them have grown up. Shane was a homie until all his shit came out. Like, yeah, I didn't have, like, a problem with Shane, per se. Like, I never really had an issue with Shane. I actually saw him. I was flying back from Canada last year, and ran into him and was just like, hey, you know, how are things going? And then, you know, all of his shit came out, and I was kind of like, yikes. His brother is the one that I had a problem with. I was not on good terms with Jared, and I don't think Jared and I will ever be on good terms. But like, I bought like NES games and shit from Shane. Like, I got stuff for my collection that I needed from Shane way, like, right after all the shit with Noelle happened. But there was like a whole lot of that group that, like, when my brother was dating Noelle, said some pretty not great things and caused a lot of problems. But if you know that group, then you probably know, like, you know, like Megan Golden and stuff, right? I'm willing to bet we probably did bump into each other in real life, and we just don't fucking realize it. If you went to a lot of the same shows that, like, my brother Jake and I were going to, or like Mike Jones and that crew were going to at the time, we probably did bump into each other. I was just asking, like, you knew Megan, like, if you knew Shane and all of them, you know, like, Megan Golden and that crew, right? Because she was a newer addition to that crew, who did not turn out to be a very great person in the end. I'm willing to bet, though, that we probably did, like, bump into each other at some shows. Did you know Tyler?
You are already doomed.
Did not know Trina. I knew Megan because Megan was part of my brother's, like, friend group with Kohlrabi for a long time. That's how. And once I kind of like left the West Valley area, I kind of stopped hanging out with a lot of them for a while. Like, things got pretty dark when Tyler passed away, so we kind of, like, everybody just kind of went their separate ways, and that's when I met my partner. And I just kind of didn't really talk to anybody in that group much anymore. What the fuck? That's messed up. Yeah. I mean, we still probably did bump into each other, because we did still go to some shows after that. Like a Day to Remember, went to a couple of Day to Remember shows, a couple Silverstein shows and stuff like that, so very possible. Shit, we probably bumped into, like, I probably talked to you in line at any show that could have possibly been at the complex, because I just talked to fucking random people in line. I was never too into, like, the SLC cosplay scene, so I didn't know who was who. I know, like, the only one person I knew was Megan, and her cosplays were kind of half-assed, and she was not a good person, so she basically sold one of her friends into some not good situations to get attention at one of the Comic-Cons. The guy who runs FanX and Salt Lake Comic Con is a fucking sack of shit. And yeah. Dude, it's fucking wild that, like, we both lived in, like, the same area for such a long time. And have very different, like, perspectives on it. I would assume. Yeah, no worries. Essence of Ice and Essence of Sorcery. These have to be used on normal items, right? Yeah. I need to go empty my inventory. Okay, so we'll go fight this. Well, we'll go empty our inventory and then fight this boss, because we can't do it with inventory full of shit.
How can I be of aid?
Need something? No need to rush.
Not worth.
All right.
Not worth. Earth. Not worth. Okay, more of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
All right.
There we go. put that on because it's going to give me more.
I shall put this to use.
Spell damage for now. Anything in any of this? Plus 37? No, not worth. I need percentage as well to max energy shield, so if it doesn't have any of that, then it's not worth. Actually, that could be pretty good if we get some good stuff on it. So we'll hold on to that. We'll put it in here. And go in our little stash tab right there. Storm room can go in here. Get the rest of our currency away. Essences, put those away. Alright. Let's go fight this fire boss.
I was mortal then. I was weak.
Then why did you never come look for
Give
me?
up all hope.
My king nears. Embrace corruption. She didn't want me.
Nope, nothing worth.
Is that
A mortal place. I follow. I ask.
I'm usually opposed to burning women alive, but as you wish.
Death. Thank you.
This is
Alright.
by your request.
To the last area. Well, almost the last area. We got 1, 2, like 4 maps to go.
It was a god. It'll take my finger.
So,
Take that.
now I have to blow this thing.
And then we need to go back here to Valley of the Titans to drop these fucking pieces in to this shrine. Yeah. So here, we put these in here. And life recovery from flasks is probably the best way to go. And then we go back to the caravan. We have to go back to the gates from the map in the caravan. They made this shit kind of clunky. But then hopefully tomorrow will be like endgame maps, and we can see how well this build does in the actual endgame. Maybe we can actually earn some currency and farm out some items. I would love to farm out an ingenuity. Okay, so we go here. And then we come up here and we sound the horn.
This whole operation would be more efficient if they were dead.
I am hesitant. Move swiftly.
Go to the city of Dresher. Deshar? Dresher? And we're gonna start nuking things. This area has the really cool birds that if you want to run as a specter, this is where you want to go.
They bury their dead.
Good God. 5 of them just leap slamming you is not something you want to fucking run into. We need to put our point into this. And then next we are going to go, we need here for cast speed, and here. Oh, on that. Cool. Then we can go put a gem in there to raise our energy shield. The more energy shield we have, the happier we'll be. Start nuking shit. Let's go. Rebirth rune. So on armor, we would regenerate 0.3% of maximum life per second, and not really worth. I guess if you stack up enough of them, you would have like 1.2. Which could be good if you were running like the blood mage, because then you can keep your health like restoring as just all that even 1.2 is pretty low for health regen.
Putrefy.
Ooh. Gonna run up on me and fucking explode on me. Get out of here.
Death, take you.
Thanks for the gold. Alright, so head out this way. We are looking. There's one quest objective in here that we can find. And then we're looking for stairs to go up to the next level. Nope. I'm back. Go away. Okay.
Suffer and die. None can oppose
Essence
me.
of haste, speed modifier, essence of body, life modifier. It's too bad you can't use multiple essences on crafting stuff. It would be nice to like build out my life. I would love to hit like 1,000 life. Ooh, excuse me. And there they are. Okay, so we take the final letter, take that back to the that looked like a door. It was not. Oh, let's go find Kieran and kill them. too many life flasks. So you can only carry one at a time. Where are they? Pretty much explore the rest of it. So. So there's our stairs, so that's how we can go to the next area. But there's 2 units. Well, not like units, but like, yeah, I would call it. I want to fight. Just gotta find where they're at. Oh, I haven't explored like a huge chunk of this map. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll skip it. Just get with it. Experience. Take those now.
Suffer and die.
What do we have? Lives? Almost 120,000 gold. Really all I need it for is to respec anything. Came back the terrible. Not who I was looking for, but we continue to.
None can oppose me.
Alright, so is it here? Yeah. We can go kill these 2 dudes real quick, and then go to the next. Ooh, it's got one of the worst modifiers.
Out of mana. I need more mana.
Ooh, and we got a level up. Hell yeah. Almost level 60. Let's go kill his buddy.
Nowhere to run.
Nope. They gave me a Jinvarana, but not one that will give us our next ascendancy, so we'll move on. And atop we shall go. I need to do something with my room. I just gotta figure out what. I need to get all my Power Ranger stuff set back up. Get like shelves and stuff figured out so I can. Alright, let's go back to the caravan real quick so we can turn this quest in, empty our inventory, and then we'll run through here. Then we just have the path to the final boss.
The path to Desha. Do whatever it takes.
Browse as long as you like. You found a letter. When I have...
Pass a point, hell yeah.
I
Sell
shall
shit
put
off.
this to
Get
you.
it.
Goodbye.
Stash. Nope. Nope. Go there. Stuff into our stash. Go down here. Rework can go in there. Essences. The essence tab. This can go here. The rest of those. This can go in the potions tab. And this, let's see. Cut spirit gem. Yeah. Put that on our bar. Oh, I don't have enough spirit. But we'll get there. Okay, so we got that. So next is down here, and then intelligence, cast speed, and cast speed. Through here.
You are already doomed.
That strong box will turn to 10 packs.
You should have served me.
This is like a clusterfuck. All for like 400 gold. Yes. And here we're just trying to run through until we can find the stairs to the top. This is The Sentry, no physical damage, adds 26 to 50 fire damage. 20% fire resistance, 100% chance to ignite. I'm sure I can do a, you can do a cool monk build with that. There's gotta be a way. Stairs. Fucking really? Where's the goddamn exit? All the way back here, I bet. Oh, my neighbor's home. Guys, I need to become Twitch famous so I can buy a house that doesn't have a fucking neighbor with a small ass dick. That's my goal. Become Twitch famous so I can buy a house and not have to live next to a guy who doesn't compensate me. This map, the Dreadnought. Fight the final boss of this act, and then we're on to Act 3. We're almost to maps. Boom.
Let these towers stand for all time, so that the sands may never swallow the honored dead. We give you to the sky and to the wind in defiance of the doom of the desert.
Oh, there's the shrine. So we get, I think it's lightning resistance, a little bit of lightning resistance back. But it also like activates all of the statues that we've seen throughout this map. So we gotta get rid of that. Those things do damage. Sister. 20% to lightning resistance. Goes up to 23% lightning resistance. But we do not have
Give up all hope.
boss arena. Come across it yet. Boss arena, where are you? And getting that right kind of makes it for us. That we can fight every statue, every player. Okay, so it's gotta be over here somewhere. Good God, please die. Oh, it's not here. There's one other path. Well, 3 other paths. Pain in the ass. It's not there. Too close. Path there.
Wither away.
Please die. That was a roll. kind of get what people kind of like. I kind of see why people are like, "God damn, this game take like these maps are forever." Some of these maps do feel like they drag on. So there's definitely like criticisms I have for this game, but it is still early access, so I can understand like it's still like a growth process.
Give up or
There's carpal tunnel's kicking in. Alright, so there's the boss. Oh. Okay. Let's go here.
You are
The
relentless.
Defiler. I wish I could
That
fucking
makes you predictable. The
turn this
time
guy into
of
a
the
spider.
Paladin is nigh.
This thing would be sick.
get back in your hole. Suffer and die.
About 350,000 damage.
One day, I'll bring you back to serve.
Back to the caravan. Let's see how much damage we can do in 20 minutes.
Greetings.
Alright, whatever we picked up, we'll sell
Need
it.
something? Browse as long as you like. As you wish. Sans guides you.
The Ferryden have us as we speak.
Off we go. It's time to kill.
Off we go to the Dreadnought.
yourself. We must prevail, no matter what.
Yes, yes, Sekima. We all know you are very brave.
Give no quarter!
I never do. Give up all hope!
God damn it.
Give no quarter!
I never do.
Jesus. Without getting cursed and without fucking getting away with anything else, but more power to you. Holy shit. Alright, so 5% increased attack speed, higher mana regenerate, and next is Void. We're gonna build up to Void.
Nowhere to run.
Okay, Crowd Walker on one of these guys is not fun.
None can approve.
Stay one down pretty easily.
Ray.
Experience. Sure would be nice to get to the end of this map. I gotta drop 1,000 gold. There we go. There's the Dreadnought Vanguard. Here's the last map of Act 2. Checkpoints. Oh shit, we've got a rogue exile.
End this foolishness!
monk. Does some damage. Shit. Out of there.
Surrender while you still can.
Forced me into a bunch of fucking groups I didn't want to be in. This is the worst spot to run into this dude. Holy fuck.
Damn, I really wanted to kill him. Just get him on the fight. Wipe me out. Clear out this car.
Wither away!
Find some gray. 5.
Ooh. Ooh.
Drop.
Ancient power.
39% increase energy shield, maximum life, maximum mana, and lightning resistance. Hell yeah. What's that? 53%. Should make this a lot easier. Not optimal, but easier. Drop some stuff in the guild bank as well. I'll probably drop that chest piece in the guild bank. I don't know if anybody in my guild can use it, but we'll throw it in there. But I have to go to the store, so I need to get these.
Death, take you. Beautiful murder.
I think it's right here. Yeah, so the boss is right there. So this is the end over here. So let's go drop this in the guild bank and see if we can find someone who's streaming. I gotta run this door, home, take a shower. Do not really see anybody. So, I believe we are going to throw a raid over to a VTuber who is running. They are also playing Path of Exile 2. They are, it looks like in the same place that I'm at. It may be Act 2 that they're on, and not Act 5, but they're running a Huntress, so we're going to throw a raid over to Shinkai Mai. And yeah, we will be back at it tomorrow. We'll be running some bosses, running some Act 3 on Cruel, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I will catch you all tomorrow night. Hope you have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow.